It was a quiet evening, much like any other, when an ordinary family became the center of an extraordinary and terrifying event. The air was thick with tension, and what followed was nothing short of a nightmare. Imagine this: you're settled in your room, surrounded by familiar comforts, and then, in a blink, everything changes. That's exactly what happened to this family. The story begins with a seemingly mundane observation: an oversized television. Yet, this small detail would soon be overshadowed by events that defy explanation. One evening, during a World Cup match, the family's young son, lying in bed, noticed something odd about the television. He questioned why such a large screen was necessary and voiced concerns that seemed almost prophetic. What if it malfunctioned or, worse, brought disaster? As the night went on, the young boy's condition worsened. His eyes turned red, and he grew increasingly agitated. Despite numerous attempts to wake him, he remained unresponsive. His family was left in a state of panic and confusion. The young boy's condition took a turn for the worse. The darkness of the night seemed to intensify, and the air felt heavier with an unsettling presence. The family's efforts to awaken him failed, and as he lay there, his family noticed a peculiar phenomenon. His eyes, now a ghastly shade of white, shut tightly as if something unseen was taking hold. When he finally awoke, he had no recollection of the events. His memory was blank, as if he had been in a deep, unshakable slumber. This wasn't an ordinary illness; something supernatural seemed to be at play. The story takes an even darker turn with the introduction of a mysterious talisman. This talisman was given to the family by a spiritual figure known as Sani Baba. The talisman was said to offer protection against unseen forces, but its presence brought with it a series of eerie incidents. One night, the narrator himself experienced a profound and terrifying encounter. Lying in bed, he decided to observe the moon, hoping to gain insight from a spiritual perspective. What followed was a horrifying experience where he felt an unseen force grip him with immense strength, leaving him bruised and terrified. As the narrator lay helpless, he felt the presence of shadowy figures. The experience was both physical and psychological. He described the feeling of being struck and restrained by an overwhelming force, as if he was being punished for an unknown transgression. The talisman, while intended to protect, seemed to become a focal point for these haunting events. It was only through invoking prayers and seeking divine intervention that he managed to escape this harrowing ordeal. The family's troubles didn't end with the talisman. Their home, too, became a character in this unsettling narrative. Strange occurrences and unsettling phenomena plagued their daily life. Mirrors would shatter spontaneously, and unexplained noises filled the night. The narrator recalled an incident where the family's house seemed to have a dark history, with previous occupants experiencing similar disturbances. The neighborhood knew about the house's cursed reputation, but no one spoke of it openly. Reflecting on these events, it becomes clear that this was more than just a series of coincidences. The presence of supernatural elements in their lives led to a series of ongoing challenges that seemed to defy logical explanation.